big on that.
Yeah.
I had businesses and all
Okay.
that stuff with that. So, but here's the thing about that: when you're bringing them into those technical aspects, meaning and
Uh-huh.
welding and plumbing, whatever that is, here's the beauty of it, especially for young boys. You have a literal sense of accomplishment. You can see you
You
sweat
can see
pipe.
it.
Man, I sweat that
That's right.
pipe. I
Yeah.
welded these two things. I did this. Like
Right.
you get them going in, and that's what they need. They need to because all of a sudden their purpose starts to become like, oh, I can do that. Welcome to Sharpen the Spear podcast, where we help manufacturing executives command the front and win the floor. I'm Richard Walsh, creator of the Sharpened Impact methodology, and I spent decades helping leaders transform frontline teams, unlock hidden profit, and capture capacity they didn't even know they had. If you want to see where your leadership gaps are costing you and how to fix them, head over to grittolead.com and run the free Sharpened Impact Simulator today. Let's sharpen your edge and get started. And we are back on STS Sharpen the Spear podcast with another incredible guest. James Hall joins us today. And James, no one knows James as well as James. So, James, I need the backstory, bring us up to speed so we can get into an incredible conversation.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm a Mississippi boy at heart, born and raised in South Mississippi. My dad was a school teacher and minister. My mother worked in the Department of Human Services and went to college, majored in chemistry. I worked as an at-risk youth counselor before I went to medical school. I did that for 2 years. That was kind of an enlightening experience for me, working as a counselor teacher. Then I went to med school and became a physician, kind of went the nephrology route, kind of went out and started my own practice. And my wife and I have been in practice for approximately 18 years, somewhere in that range. We're solo. She's my office manager. Matter of fact, she's my high school sweetheart. She's the reason I'm the man I am.
Nice.
Behind every good man, there's always a good woman. I don't care what nobody says. That's a true statement.
That's right. That's right. I'm with you.
So, I had a pretty good upbringing. My parents gave us a Christian foundation and a biblical worldview. And that has really shaped me and helped me develop a sense of direction, a sense of identity, and helped me stay out of trouble. And I really just kind of want to try to continue that legacy with my own kids. We have two sons, they're 25 and 23. So we want to try to continue that same legacy of family, Christian biblical upbringing, so that the next generation can be better than the previous generation. So, today we do a lot of ministry work at church, and we're kind of youth pastors right now, but we also do a lot of teaching. I have a teaching ministry. That's kind of like my specialty, so to speak. And we have been just bombarded by so many young men and young women in the fatherless community and what it has done. And it's really piqued our interest and kind of opened our eyes to see a sector of society that we just didn't know existed or didn't know the implications of how much it affects, young men and young women, fatherlessness, that is. So we're excited about what God is doing and using us to try to help young men and young women become better and be who God called them to be. That's our whole goal in life, is trying to help someone become better. And it's fun. It's challenging, but fun. But that's a little bit about me, though.
That's awesome. No, I love it. This is a big topic for me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I've seen it for a long time now. I have 6 kids. Okay, so now they're
Wow.
all, what are they, 21 to 18, six inside
Okay.
that little
Yeah.
group. So my youngest just turned 18 a couple of days ago, and so I'm like, hey, I got 6 to the finish line.
That's
You
right.
know, but at the same time, I'm going, and I'm like, oh, well, I got to see. Okay,
Right.
I'm now watching what's happening. I got one in the Marine Corps and other ones doing things. So it is. We did a good job. We homeschooled all the way through all that kind of stuff. All the
That's
years. And
yeah.
but the fatherless thing is something I've noticed for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Right. So it's been kind of one of my, we'll call it a side ministry. It's not
Okay.
like official. I do men's ministry. I do that kind of stuff. Right. And I'm like,
Yes, sir.
and I see it, and I've seen, because I've been around long enough,
Right.
right, where I've seen the ramifications.
Yes, sir.
of this stuff, so
Right.
I want to talk about that a little bit because I know it's kind of come to the forefront of you as of late,
Hmm.
which I love that you're attacking, because this, to me, this is what destroys a nation.
Amen. That's right.
Okay. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
there's no other way to put it,
That's right. That's right.
so let's talk about that a little bit, what you're seeing out there.
Honestly, we have at one point in time we had three vans full of kids that we were bringing kids to church.
Hmm.
And out of all three vans, 15 passenger vans, there was one child who had a father in the home. Out of three vans, that's 45 kids.
Wow.
And we were just, it was just so shocking when I actually thought about that. And this is what people I guess, don't fully acknowledge. 70% of high school dropouts grew up in a fatherless home.
Hmm.
That's 7 out of 10. That's a lot of kids. 90% of homeless and runaway kids grew up without a father in the home. The number one risk for suicide, believe it or not, according to a book called The Boy Crisis, is fatherlessness. The number one risk of suicide amongst young men is fatherlessness. When I read that, I was just mind boggled, because you don't really think about things like this when you think about, not having a father in a home, because it's become so much of a normality
Right.
in the modern era, that people don't even think it's an issue or a disadvantage, but it's a major disadvantage to a child to not have their father in the home. And so this is what's happening in America and across the world.
Yeah. I think, James, here's the thing, that when people don't think it's a disadvantage,
Hmm.
I'm just going to say it truthfully, they're not paying attention.
They're not paying attention.
They're not seeing the results of it, which is
That's right.
around them every day. They're going, oh, things are so bad. These people are this, and these people, you're like, do you know why?
Right. That's
Because
right.
what I was on a podcast and the guy asked me, what's the biggest thing? Where I go, it's fatherlessness. And
Fatherlessness.
that host was just looked at me like, what? I go, are you kidding me? I
No,
go,
we're
it's
not
like,
kidding.
but I told him, I go, you don't know that?
Right. That's right.
Like, it was so off the charts for him.
Yes,
I
sir.
said, we're all exposed to different stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
But
Right.
like you said, just the numbers you just ran, James, if you just take those numbers, you can't be not affected by it.
You can't be
You
not
have to
affected.
see it. It could be a friend.
Right.
It could be a friend's friend. I mean,
That's
you're
right.
talking 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's a pretty good likelihood. Or it's you know, there's fathers and then there's absentee fathers,
Right. That's
right?
right.
That's like, it's a little better.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I had read a study years ago, and they had said, even if the father is not a good man, let me just put it
Uh-huh.
that way, okay,
Right.
drinks, whatever, but if he's in the home, it's still better than not being there,
That's exactly right. Yes, sir.
right? So it's like you got to understand,
Yeah.
this is, I mean, God made the nuclear family for a reason,
For a reason.
because
Amen.
it works.
It works. It
It
is the
doesn't.
best way to raise a family.
Well, it's also the best way to succeed,
Yeah.
best way to make more money, best way
Right.
to, I mean, it's just, when you do that, when husband, wife, children, that's the nuclear family. Okay,
Right.
regardless of what anyone else says. Okay, that's our biblical view.
It's the
That's what we
biblical
believe, and
version.
it
Right.
works.
That's
Okay,
right.
whether
That's
you're a
right.
believer or not, it works.
That's
Okay,
right.
just like business, I do with people. I operate on biblical business principles. Like, oh,
Uh-huh.
I said, and you don't have to be a believer for them to work.
Yeah. That's right.
God keeps
Exactly.
everybody. So I teach
He
everybody.
reigns on the just and the unjust.
That's right. That's right. So
Yeah.
that's why this topic, to see this and understand, where is this all coming from?
Where it's
So
coming from. Right.
have you done just kind of a chronological history application of this? Like, because here's the thing, like, I don't know if it was like 40s, 50s where stuff started really coming apart, and there's
Hmm.
different demographics and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
here's the thing, right? The demographic thing is irrelevant now.
That's right.
White,
It's
black,
irrelevant.
brown, it so sorry,
You're
everyone's
exactly
affected,
right.
right?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. I've done some demographic work in looking at this and writing the book, Grown Boys. And in 1961, 75% of African American kids were born to a mother who was married, and approximately 90% to 95% of Caucasian kids were born to a mother who was married. So people understood that, yes, I want to get out there and have sex, but I need to be married, and I need to be married before I start having kids, because there I can have a man in the home to help me take care of these kids. And interestingly, a book called Who Killed the American Family by Phyllis Schlafly, she says that when a mother has a child out of wedlock, she has an 80% chance of being in poverty for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to end poverty, that's an easy way to help decrease the poverty line in our country almost overnight. But demographically, if you fast forward the clock from 1960, when they passed the Welfare Reform Act, President Lyndon Baines Johnson, he wanted to end poverty, which is a great noble cause. But, just I don't know if they were just inadvertently, inevitably, or just intentionally ease the father out of the home. And that made poverty worse because you don't have two incomes. You don't have a father and a mother to help, subsidize this family. And today, in 2026, about 72 to 75% of African American kids are born out of wedlock, and approximately 45 to 48% of Caucasians are born out of wedlock. So this statistic of having children is no longer attached to marriage. And so it has gone in the wrong direction. And this is the number one societal ill that we face. Because when kids don't have a father, they don't have direction. They don't have identity. They don't have discipline. They don't have the core nature of who you are is your identity.
They don't have fear.
And they don't have fear.
I mean, my kids know now. So here's the thing, James. I always tell my kid, again, 6 kids, I've never had to lay a hand on them. Okay.
Yeah.
Which people are like, really? I go, yeah. I
Yeah.
said, but you know what else? You know what the caveat is?
Right.
It's still on the table.
It's on the table. That's it.
And I'm not a guy you want to lay hands on you. Okay.
Right.
It's going to go very badly for you. Okay. So so that being said, but also one thing, going back to what you're saying with Johnson and all that, and the whole thing is there's kind of a cool thing when you think about whatever you incentivize increases.
Increases.
If you incentivize welfare, if you reward them for being an unwed parent,
right,
whatever, they're going to do that more.
Yeah, it's going to grow.
It's going to grow. So you penalize something, what happens? Oh, people stop doing it.
That's right.
So this isn't crazy math.
Exactly.
It's just
that's right.
It's just the reality. So I think it's one of those things people have to look at when you incentivize that. And when I meant no fear for these kids, it's true that you're seeing this anger, this hostilities are coming younger. I mean, 8, 9, 10, because there is no guiding light for them whatsoever.
That's right. That's right.
I agree. One other thing, really, really quick. So I learned this from church. We ran the children's ministry and stuff at our church, and my wife and I, and they found that if just 5 people in the church would say hello to a young child, a boy especially, hello, and ask them how they're doing, pay attention. That's it. Not a lot.
Right.
There's like a 75% increase that they're not going to leave the church.
Wow. 75%.
Like a 75, because that first year of college, you have 2/3, you have 75% leaving the faith.
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean? Because again, no guidance, no nothing. Right. I mean, that's an even deeper story that we don't have to hit today, but I'm just saying, like, you understand the attention. Okay. Especially from another man, like in that church setting. Like we're big on that.
Exactly.
I got them. We do a men's breakfast every year. Like, I bring these kids in here, man. They're going to learn to cook.
Yeah. That's right.
Working. They're working in the kitchen. They're doing stuff like this. That's what you're going to do. You're going to set up. You're going to do this stuff. They're little things.
Yes,
but
sir.
They know that this place can come and have some structure. Because when it's fatherlessness, you're seeing a lot of, there's no structure.
There's no structure.
And that makes it really difficult. Yeah. So
yeah, that's right.
What are you seeing in this? Well, let's talk about the ministry you've started. for
Yes,
this?
sir.
Like kind of tell me how's that working, what it is, and everything else.
Yeah. It's basically, we call it Mighty Men Academy. We're trying our best to take any male from malehood to manhood. And
Psalm
because of,
127, baby.
right,
Yeah.
I've always had my father until he died in 2014. So I don't really know what it's like to grow up without a father. So I recognize these, instead of me incriminating these young boys and just, coming down on them, let me kind of start to instruct, to lead, to nurture, to give them the things that I didn't have, that they didn't have, that I had as a youngster coming up. So we started this Mighty Men Academy trying to impart some wisdom. I created the 7 baby steps to manhood, which are basically 7 steps that any young male can take to become a man. And so we have little workshops at our church where we focus on trades. We have like electrical workshop, carpentry, mechanic, welding, just trying to spark interest and kind of get them somewhat inspired to do a trade, to learn how to do something with your hands, learn how to change a tire,
Yeah.
change the oil. We have financial classes with them, trying to teach them. Basically teach them Dave Ramsey, five
Mhm.
financial piece, trying to teach them money management. Ultimately, the main thing is trying to give them a spiritual, biblical foundation so they can build this house called life. Because we know without that, it's going to be really hard to weather the storms of life without having a relationship with God. So that's the underlying principle. That's baby step one, loving God. Baby step two is love yourself. If you don't love yourself, it's easy to go up to another person and just blow their brains out because you don't care about yourself. You have no respect and dignity. And that comes from home, that comes from teaching, it comes from knowing God. That's baby step two. I tell young boys nowadays, my dad wouldn't let me get an earring in my ear.
Yeah.
So I have no earrings, no nose rings, no nipple rings, and no other kind
Yeah.
of rings.
I got a wedding ring. That's all I got. That's the only
Yeah.
ring I got.
So my dad said, boy, if you come in here with an earring, I'm gonna snatch it out your ear. I said, yes, sir. So I have no earrings. We've come to a time in our country where if you're an athlete, if you're a black athlete, you automatically think you're supposed to get an earring in your ear. But earrings are sold in the women's section of the store. It's a female adornment. And I
Amen.
tell these boys, I want you to accessorize your mind, not your body, right? That's not who you are. Your mind is who you really are. How about you put an earring on your mind and make your mind look attractive and look good and look cool, you know?
Yeah, I love it. I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, I was influenced by a woman
Uh,
many decades ago to do an earring.
yeah.
Okay. So she
Uh-huh.
got that, got my hair grown out and got that for a little while. And then
Uh-huh.
one day where I was at night, I think it was David Letterman was on or something, and Michael J. Fox was on there. And then David Letterman was like, Michael, you got an earring. He goes, yeah, my son likes it and all this stuff. And I'm watching this, James, and I'm like, I took that thing out of my ear and tossed it in a garbage can. Never wore one again. I go, okay, no, there's no way. I'm not, what am I doing? Okay,
Right. Yes,
what am
sir.
I doing? I'm
Yes, sir.
not that. So got rid of the girl too.
That's right. That's right.
But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, no, I love it. I mean, so where are we at? Step three?
Step three. Yes, sir. Step three, upgrade your appearance. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though you could be a thug, if you dress up and look like a businessman, people are going to treat you like a businessman.
Mhm.
I don't care. You could be the worst criminal in the world. But if you dress up and you show up like you're somebody and they don't know you, they're going to make an impression. Now, that's called human nature. And nobody can refute that. That's who we are. When we see people, our eyes and our mind has a prejudgment, a prejudice, a prejudged notion of who you are. That's why it's so important to upgrade how you look. Your hair, what you wear, your clothes. this was something that was instilled in us as children. My dad, I got three sisters. I have no brothers. And man, my dad was hard on it. You had to iron your clothes. You had to make sure you looked good when you left home.
Yep.
Your teeth had to be clean. Your breath. I was just, I thought everybody was like that. But as I kind of grew, I found, everybody's not like that.
No, and I love you're saying this because it's a big thing. It's
Yeah.
a really, really big thing, which
Yes,
like
sir.
I'm the master ironer of the house.
Okay.
Okay. Now I was taught early too, right? By my parents, or I don't know if I was taught by them or they didn't want to do it. So they
Yeah.
made me do it. I don't know,
Right.
but
Right.
either way, then when the Marine Corps and Marines can iron.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
we
That's
look
right.
good. Okay, we got creases in our camis. So you're not gonna, my son's in now and he gets it finally. I'm like, you
Yeah.
see, that's why everyone gives me their stuff at home to
Yeah.
iron. Dad,
That's
can you
right.
iron my stuff? Because it comes out that I'm detailed,
Yes,
but
sir.
you're absolutely right. It is that first impression. Everyone tries to negotiate their way out of that. They're
Mhm.
wearing their stupid pajamas at Walmart.
Right.
Okay, out there and they're out there and just they this is where I think you're at the dignity aspect, right? I think there's a real connection with dignity in this. And I look at people now, and it's not the kids today. I'm not that generational goof,
Right.
that just says we were better.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you're doing wrong things.
You're doing the wrong thing. That's right. That's right.
It's just like you're
Exactly.
setting yourself back.
For
You're your
right.
worst enemy.
You're your
Okay,
worst enemy. That's exactly right.
and
Yes,
we
sir.
all are.
That's
We
right.
all are.
We
Okay,
all are.
even
That's
in our
right.
suits. Okay, we're still
Exactly.
our own worst enemy. So we got to be really conscious of these things. But the dressing is something you have total control over.
Right. You got control over that. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
that's so true.
it just matters. So like we're married, you're married, I mean, and we're usually ready before our wives. Pretty sure. Okay,
Right.
we're not taking
Exactly.
longer to get ready, no matter how good we look. And we're
That's right.
kind of tapping the foot and boy, I'm like, dude, church is in like 10 minutes. We need to leave.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Right.
So, but you also have to go, she's making herself look great, right? Because she's going
Right.
to be seen with me. So I
Exactly.
always have to remind myself, like, I have to, I know it's for others,
Right.
but I turn it back, like, she's doing this for me,
Yeah.
whether
That's
she
right.
is or not. Okay. I'm
She's doing
just,
it for you.
that's right. She's on my arm. So it's for me. Okay. I don't care what everyone else thinks,
Exactly.
but so she's looking good. So you have to have that, marriage gives you a new level of patience. Okay.
Amen.
That's just how it
And
works.
kids give you a whole new level of
Oh
faith.
my goodness, you aren't kidding. So yeah, I love it. I love that. That is one of those great takeaways that you have total control.
Right.
Even if I mean, like my kids, like with fashion, like my oldest son, the kid can put a t-shirt on and pants and just look spectacular.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
fit and everything else, but it's like he wears the right. He doesn't have holes and it's not all nasty. But like, no matter what, I'm like, dude, and my other son, one of my other sons too, same thing. It's just always look good.
Right. That's right.
You just always look good. No matter what it is, they can sport the stuff. I'm like, that's what it's about.
That's
You
what
know,
it's about.
I don't
Amen.
always look good. Okay.
Right.
I'm not a slave to fashion.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
get issues. Okay. But I don't wear garbage here, but I'm just saying,
Right.
like, I'm not going to don't come to me for fashion advice. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Your
what's
son,
number 4? Yeah.
number four is learn to earn.
There we go.
As a man, you got to get your hands on some money. And ultimately, a lot of men basically describe themselves based on their career. We look at ourselves based on what we do. And it's kind of an extension of our identity. For a lot of men, their career is like, that's who they are. But also, if you're planning on getting married and having a family one day, you're gonna have to command some resources. And women look at that, no matter what anybody says, human nature and biology has taught women it's a part of who they are. They look at a man's ability to generate resources and command some money.
Yeah. And
So, yes,
go
sir.
ahead. No, I'll say, and you know why? Because security is the number one human core need,
Security.
right?
Yep.
So
That's the
women,
number one thing women look for.
that's right. And
It's
and
security.
and you know what security is?
Yeah.
Finances.
Finances.
It's
That's
it's the
exactly
money.
right.
Okay,
We
so
talk about that in the book too. In Grown Boys, we talk about security is the number one thing that women look for in a man. Because I'll be honest with you, Richard, I've seen some ugly men. Short, got a bald spot, big eyes. And I'm like, how did he get her?
right.
His wife is like gorgeous. I'm like, something I'm missing here. But he's obviously got the gift of gab, but he also has the ability to command some resources.
That's it.
Yeah. And provide security for this lady. So we teach trade. I'm a college guy, so I went to college, but everybody's not college material. So we teach trade. We teach, you can come up with a business in the internet era. You don't have to be smart. You just got to be creative, really, in this
That's
modern
it.
era to generate some money, and you can determine how much money you want to command in this marketplace. So
Yeah.
that's why learning to earn is so important.
Yeah, I think also like I love the stuff with trades. I work a lot with that industry,
Uh-huh.
right? I coach that industry. I do all that. So I'm big on that.
Yeah.
I had businesses and all
Okay.
that stuff with that. So, but here's the thing about that: when you're bringing them into those technical aspects, meaning
Uh-huh.
welding and plumbing, whatever that is, here's the beauty of it, especially for young boys. You have a literal sense of accomplishment. You can see you
You
sweat
can see
pipe.
it.
Man, I sweat that
That's right.
pipe. I
Yeah.
welded these two things. I did this, like
Right.
you get them going in, and that's what they need. They need to, because all of a sudden their purpose starts to become like, oh, I can do that.
Right.
Right. It's not talking about something or reading about something. It's like I
Right.
am building thing. I
Right.
can do this. You can become an asset,
That's
like
right.
you're saying. So my goal for kids, like you need to become an asset, not a
Yeah.
liability.
That's right. I
That's the
like that.
resources. And now
Asset.
you want to become a plumber, but you also can go learn the trade, do your apprenticeship, get through it, get 3 to 5 years, and start your own deal.
Start your own
If you've
business.
got the entrepreneurial mindset, look out. Sky's the limit for you.
Sky's the
And even
limit.
if you don't, you're making great money
Right.
because AI can't sweat pipe.
No, AI can't lay bricks.
That's
They
right.
can't they can't do drywall.
That's right. That's right. So those are durable trades. Okay.
That's
Those
right.
are durable trades. They're awesome.
Mechanic and diesel. Somebody's got to do
That's
that stuff.
that's right. That's right. And
Yeah.
the guys are, kids are bent for that.
Yeah. That's right.
That's a thing,
Yes, sir.
and it's really cool to see. So I love that you've got that emphasis and
Yes,
you're
sir.
giving them that array of opportunity,
Right.
because for too long it's just been overlooked. Now
Yeah. That's right.
they're seeing a resurgence, like
Hmm.
we have it here in my town, and it's really
Late.
great to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, but men have to know they can go and do something.
Right. And we're driven. We're honestly, I like working with my hands. Most men gravitate to those types of professions.
Right.
99% of plumbers and welders and all these guys, they are men.
That's right. That's right.
Women
Shocking.
gravitate to nurturing fields like nursing and
Right.
that type thing.
Right.
And so, it's just been programmed into who we are, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
important to understand those distinctions too,
Uh-huh.
because you have to have a starting point.
Right.
You can't, if I don't know the best analogy, but it's like if there's a food that I absolutely hate
Uh-huh.
and you keep putting that food in front of me, I'm going to just keep hating it.
Right. That's right.
I'm,
You don't keep
I'm
hating.
never going to eat it. Right.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you got to, well, what else you got? You got anything else except this one thing?
Yeah.
Because I am interested in eating.
Right.
Okay. That's a thing. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So give me some choices here so I can make a
Give me
choice.
something.
And,
That's
so
right.
yeah, it's kind of important. That's really good. So I think when we look at these, so we're on 4 so far.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so like you really build a momentum with this. Okay, like
Yeah.
I love the order
Okay.
because I think you've got your order in the right, and not, who cares what I think, right? But I'm just saying, like I
No,
really
I
like the
love it.
order. I really
Yeah.
like the order because this is the way it needs to happen
Yes,
because they
sir.
build on each other.
Right. I agree.
All right, well,
And
give
that's
us
why I
number.
created them in that order.
I
Yeah.
like it. Well,
Yeah.
I figured you had purpose. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't just throwing darts. Okay. No, okay, we'll do that. Now let's write a book. But give us number 5.
Number 5 is, after you learn to earn, you got to learn money management. So, yeah, you can make a lot of money, but as we know, 70% of professional athletes, when they retire, are broke or bankrupt within
Mm-hmm.
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you can command a lot of money, and they do, professional athletes, a lot of these guys grew up in single parent homes. A lot of them grew up without the luxury of having good financial stewardship in the home. So I've understood that most of these children that I'm trying to teach have no clue how to manage money at all. So I put that one in there, number 5, about managing money, because that's something that I think I've struggled with, in my
Oh,
life. And my dad struggled. My dad went through a bankruptcy. So his parents didn't have a lot of money. His dad was a kind of a farmer, sharecropper.
mm-hmm.
My dad was a school teacher. So this is something that I noticed is a problem, especially in the Black community, but in communities
All
where there's no
communities.
fathers, you know? So,
All,
it's
I'm sorry.
all communities.
Yeah, most of Americans are like a month away from bankruptcy.
Yeah, that's
Okay, I mean
crazy,
it's just
Richard.
like 90%, it's 80
That's
something.
crazy.
It's not so yeah. With no one's immune from this. Okay,
Right,
but I get your
exactly.
point for sure.
Yeah. So we
um,
teach Dave Ramsey. We've done the Financial Peace University at
mhm.
our church probably 6 or 7 times over the last 10 or 15 years, because we want people to be good stewards, because that's what God wants.
Yep,
He wants to be stewards of what we have.
it's
Your
his.
It's all belongs to him anyway.
That's right.
100% is
Right.
God's.
That's right.
He will let you keep 90 and require 10 to give back to him. But if you're a good steward, you realize, you know what? I'm stewarding this for about 80 years, and I want to be a good steward while I'm trusted to be here. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you know what? And I was on with a client what day is today? Yeah, 2 days ago, and we're talking about just this with his businesses and everything else. Like he's creating. I go, listen, you're creating financial legacy for your children. That's Proverbs, man.
Yes,
That's
sir. That's
Proverbs. You got to
Proverbs.
build. You got to.
Yeah.
You're not doing just so you. And he's 38,
Right.
2 kids. I'm like, dude, and he's crushing. I'm like, dude, you are he's God fearing. You stay on this path.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, obviously, you guys are already good, but like, imagine
That's right.
in like 30 more years
Right.
what you're going to
What
be
you
able to
can.
leave for your children, how you can help them as they grow. They're only
Exactly.
5 and 7 or something right now, right? So
Yes, sir.
that attention to financial stewardship, to me, I mean, it's lacking in every public institution,
Yeah.
every government school. They don't teach you. It's like, and kind of on purpose, I think. But there's no, you don't know what to do with this stuff. And I'll give you a good example with my own child. One of
Yeah.
them, one of my boys. I have twin boys. Um, Hardest working kid. Been working and making money since he was 9.
Wow.
Like operating equipment. I mean, the kid's
I like
unbelievable, right?
him. Yeah.
He's when they're little, James, and like I got the hammer and nail and I'm nailing something in, and they got the little plastic hammer, to play with. Oh, he did not. Yeah, wanted nothing to do with the plastic hammer. He's very irritated. He throws it away and gives me, let me do the real thing, like at 3. Like, so
Right.
he's
A
been a
real
hands-on
hammer.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he let me work the skill saw, not at 4. Okay.
Yeah.
But so he's working from 16 years old till 18.
Uh-huh.
Okay, working full time. We're homeschooling. $90,000 he made
Wow.
from his 16th birthday to okay, but that sounds cool.
Yeah.
But now let's go jump inside the head of a 16 to 18-year-old.
Right. Right.
Okay, so he's buying tools. He's got everything Milwaukee, right? He's got all Milwaukee tools. He got the box, all the stuff. He buy a car.
Right.
At 18, doing his tax returns, I'm looking like $90,000. Why don't you have any money?
Right.
He has none. Not like, I don't know about you, James, but when I was 16, if I had
Yeah.
$900, that was a lot.
Oh,
Okay.
$90 was a lot.
Right. I'm like, man, no, I'm talking 900 for like the year. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that was a lot.
Right.
And I'm like, and I looked at him and I go, dude, we got to get hold of this.
Yeah.
But there's
That's
a
right.
maturity aspect of this, right?
Exactly.
So, and I was working on this young, but you got every kid's different.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And they're going to do what they do. And it's a hard lesson, but they got to learn it.
They gotta learn it. Yeah.
And now he knows,
Right.
he's 19 and he's got, but that's a holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his twin brother is exactly the opposite.
Right. He's
okay. Making money, saving money.
Right,
He's got to
right.
plan everything else. So, their only commonality as twins is they're born at the same time.
So yeah,
Okay.
same mom and same dad.
That's right. That's it. It ends there. Okay. So they're
Um,
not, well, that's
that's
good. But,
funny.
but I love that you do that because I think the financial stewardship is the way. So let's compound this. Okay. So the other four things you had, but let's take the trade school analogy. You get
Right.
out there and you start working. Well, you're making some money.
That's right.
You're as an apprentice, you're making 40, 45, thousand a
An
year. And
hour.
then yeah. And so then you're going to get up to 60, 70,000 a year and then
Right.
80,000 a year. And
Yeah.
you're still, that's good money.
That's good
Okay.
money.
And you can take it from there. But if you have the stewardship mentality,
Right.
that can compound because you're young.
That's right.
You don't need anything, especially if you're
Right.
single.
Mm-hmm.
Now, say you did that instead of college, which is
Mm-hmm.
an average of 5 years. That's what it takes an average kid to get out of college.
Right.
So we could talk about that. That's a whole different topic. Okay,
Right.
it's
That's true.
before, but they're dropping 100,
Uh-huh.
150,000,
Right.
right? Coming out in debt. Then they maybe get married and buy a house and they go down that road, right? Now they got $400,000 or $500,000 of debt by the time they're 25.
That's right.
Meanwhile, these guys went into trade school,
And
got
working.
out, they're
Yeah.
working, they're making this money, and if they're again financial stewards,
Mm-hmm.
it's now compounding at a young age.
Exactly.
They have a place for it to go automatically and build on that.
Uh-huh.
They are light years ahead
Like
of the
yeah.
average kid their
Oh
age.
yeah. Oh
When they're
yeah.
30, they're
Mm-hmm.
they're 10 years ahead of others who are 30. And where they're
I
still
agree.
playing games, sitting in the mountains, okay, and
Exactly.
taking on the world, right? And they're doing
Right.
their
Right.
stuff. So it's
Oh
really
yeah.
important. I just want to stress that.
Oh, that's good. We stress that a lot, and I love your point. I love that. Yeah. If I hadn't gone to med school, I probably would have done something like trade or something along those lines. You know,
We'll take a small detour. Why med school for you?
my my godfather, who they babysit, he and his wife babysat me when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
He was a World War II veteran. He was the first licensed black mechanic in Walthall County, Mississippi. And so I spent a lot of time with him.
Yeah.
And he ended up losing one of his legs. Then he ended up losing his other leg. And I used to go back and forth to the VA, just, to the doctors and rehab. And so I was introduced to a world that I just didn't know. And I loved it. I gravitated to caring for people. I love the scientific challenge. And I was like, this is what I want to do. I made that decision around end of 10th grade year, 11th grade year, and I took care of him a lot. And so I just love taking care of people. That seemed so fascinating and fun to me. And so that's what made me want to be a doctor, spending
Oh,
time with him.
and this goes back to the point of exposure.
Yeah.
You gotta get people to expose to things because you don't know when they click. We have a workforce development program here with a big construction company local here that my son actually is working for now, but they have paid internships for high school kids.
Okay.
And this girl was speaking. She said, "Yeah, I thought I wanted to be a mason."
Yeah.
She goes, and then they paid me, and I started doing masonry. And she goes, "I don't want to be a mason."
That's good.
Right. So she got into biological construction.
Okay.
So understand the biology of it. She really into that because like one of my clients too, they do these healthy homes that can't grow mold, blah blah, all this stuff, really cool stuff. So
Right.
she found that and she's like 100% in,
Yeah.
right? Because she got exposed to one thing, didn't like it, but then got, hey, what's this? And then she loved that, right?
Right.
Because she was just around it. But man, it's a good thing when you know what you don't want to do.
Exactly. One of my employees right now, she's a young girl. I think she's 23, and she's tried everything: waitressing, medical assistant, she EMT school. Now she wants to get a CDL, and I said, she was worried about doing something wrong. I said, you're not doing anything wrong. I said, it's just as good to know what you don't want to do as it is to know what you want to do. Because I know a lot of people who are, 45, 50 years old, even 55, locked into a career that they absolutely hate, and they can't go back and change because they're too old. So it's so important to know what you don't want to do.
Yeah, you get trapped by the paycheck.
Get trapped by the money.
All of a
That's
sudden you're
right.
like, "Ah, I can't go, they can't go," which you could. The
You
reality
could.
is you could. You just don't want to
Right.
go through the discomfort
That's right. You don't
because
want to
it'll
put
be
yourself
painful.
through it. That's
Yeah.
right.
So you can. It's not you can't. You just decide not to. But I get it.
Exactly.
But I really I do that with my kids too. I'm like, do the different things, figure it out. I
Yeah.
said give it time.
Give it time.
Don't
Give
go
it
for
time.
5 days, and like
Right.
quit. But 6 months, a year,
Yeah.
or when they're young, like my kids is, starting to kind of fast food, work at a Culver's or whatever, like do that. I said, because
Yeah.
I want you to know what that is.
Right.
I want you to understand systems,
Right.
processes, and
Mhm.
then bad management. I want you to
Right.
understand bad management.
Right. Bad
Because in those,
employees.
yep, I go because those places you have uh teenagers who never worked before,
That's
first
right.
time jobs, and then you
Yeah.
have seniors. And
Uh-huh.
then in the middle, you have middle aged managers who are frustrated and
Mm.
angry, hate life because they're stuck there with children and
That's right.
seniors.
They
Okay.
mad at the world.
Yeah,
That's
the
right.
seniors don't really, they'll do what they want. The kids have no idea what they're doing, and it's just chaos, right? So I
Exactly.
said, but now you've all been in there. That's great. Now they've moved on. Then the next thing, now they're finding out what they really like to do, and they're still
Right.
discovering.
That's right.
1920, like, okay, I think I'll do this and this, and let's start a side gig. So it's you're exactly right. You have to loosen that tether, let them do it, let them fall down, let them
Right.
experience, let them understand what they don't want to do.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Like, and it's super profitable for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't go give someone $1 million, right? Like you said, every lottery winner, 97% of all lottery winners is worse off financially 3 years after they win than before they got it, right?
Curse of the lottery.
Yeah, and kids are no different.
Right. They
Okay,
know different.
they need to learn with a little. It's
That's right.
faithful in the little before you
Mm-hmm.
get faithful in much. It's the parable of the
That's
talents.
biblical. Yeah, that's
Parable of
biblical.
the talents, right? They give you one, oh, I'm scared, I'll bury it. And the other one say 5 into 10, whatever, 10 and 20. So I think it's really good as you progress this way. And I think, like you're saying, so I want to talk about this for a second. It's like people always give me the how early should kids start working? What did
Mm-hmm.
your kids do? Like I said, well, one was making money since he was 9,
Yeah.
like legit making money. He wants to go
Right.
to work. The other one's not, so they're doing sports and they're doing things, right? So,
Uh-huh.
so
Uh-huh.
like for me, I'm like working is kind of a relative term.
Yeah.
They could do 5 hours a week. That's working.
That's working.
They could babysit. That's working.
Yeah.
Okay. They could help out, like, you know, a homeschool mom who has
Right.
a little side gig. They can go and help her, and then she can package and they ship stuff, and they can make a little money. So
Yeah.
the thing that people think it's all or nothing, it's a 40-hour a week job where
Yeah.
I want them to be a kid. Well, I wanted my kids to be kids too, and they were.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
Because again, we had the blessing of homeschooling.
Uh-huh.
So they weren't stuck for 8 hours. I could bang it
Right.
out in 3 and
Right.
go do good stuff. So,
Yeah. And
so
I admire
anyways,
you for that, by the way. I admire
well,
you and
thank
your
you.
wife for that. Yeah.
I admire her. I did art and PE, James. Okay. Let's be
You
real.
did the fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm a very accomplished artist, but
Yeah.
besides that, the
Yeah.
the fitness stuff I like. But yeah, she did the hard stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
all the 99% of the credit goes to her. She's
Yeah.
awesome. But so kind of what's your take on that from the working hands-on aspect? And we don't need specific, ages, but I just, are you kind of in line with that? You thinking that, do you start to get it, these kids who you in your ministry? Because I'm sure they span all ages, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
what's kind of the thought, or I'll say the recommendation? What are you seeing? And do they ask you, like, should I be working?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
probably a yes most of the time, but
Right.
I'm sure there's different situations. So what does
Yeah.
that look like through
One
your
thing I
lens?
love about having this ministry built out from the church is that a church there's always something to do.
Mhm.
Our church has probably 5 or 6 buildings that it owns, and there's grass, there's painting, there's pressure washing, there's a leaking faucet, there's an old toilet has to be taken out. And so we'll recruit mainly the young men in the church, and the young boys too, to just kind of filter in and help us. And sometimes we'll pay them. Sometimes we'll say, we'll let this be your offering to the church this week.
There you go.
We'll give them an opportunity to be a blessing to the kingdom. But, from an age standpoint, my kids, they would always have little side hustles. You know, my
Mhm.
oldest son, he always had little side hustles, just all kind of little stuff he was doing. You know, just
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, he plays saxophone, so he was working in music, making a little money doing that, playing for weddings and venues. Then my youngest son, he played guitar. He started playing at some of the restaurants in town. So I think every child is different, but I would just encourage that productivity, uh, encourage some type of industriousness so that they can learn. I think the
Yeah.
most important part is just learn. It's you don't need that much money when you're 12.
Right.
Your
Right.
parents take care of you.
Yeah.
But
And a little means a lot to you when you're
a
12.
little means a lot. I give you an example. When I use cell phones for an example. I told my sons you can get a cell phone anytime you get ready. Two conditions: you got to buy your own phone and pay your own bill.
Ooh, that'll slow them down.
Yeah. So
That'll
so
slow
when
them
they
down.
got to ninth grade, Richard, that's when they was like, man, I got to get a job so I can try to get me a cell phone.
There you go.
It's like, hey, I'll wash your car. How much would you pay me to wash your car? Can I cut the grass? Can I, they were actively looking for work
There you
to
go.
make money to buy a cell phone.
Yeah.
So I found that was a good way to kind of segue them into realizing, I need to be doing some chores and some work around here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's no better motivation than something you actually want. Okay.
Right.
Like you got to work for it.
Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
it's great. And I love the side hustle. I love the music aspect because I always tell people too, I say, listen, work is work. I don't care if it's with a shovel or on the keyboard.
Right. That's
It's
right.
work.
It's
You got
work.
to put in time. You got to put in effort. You have to put in creativity.
Yeah.
Again, I don't care what it is. So
That's
it's
right.
not work is not just manual labor.
Right. That's right.
Okay, I
It's
mean
not
this
made just
this day
anyway.
and age, you can work in all different facets. You can play
Yeah.
the
That's right.
sax, you can do
Uh-huh.
IT work at the same time, and you
IT
can
work.
cut some grass.
That's right.
You can
Yeah.
do all three.
Hmm.
You can be that guy or
Yeah.
girl, right? So,
Right.
but it's important to understand that what you're doing, I think, how I see it as well is like you have to be resourceful. We talk about resources. Yeah, the ladies
Right.
want you to have resources,
Uh-huh.
but you only get those by being resourceful.
Exactly. Yeah. I
You
love
got to
that.
find the way. Like I always tell
Mhm.
people, man, I can clean out gutters if I have to. I don't care. Dude, I
Me
can
too. I can
weld,
do
I
anything.
can shovel. I mean, I'm not, nothing's below me,
Me either. Me either.
so like, so I'm not worried.
Right.
I'm good. I got
Right.
this. Right. Like it's, that's
Long
like,
as you got these, huh?
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Whatever. And that's what I told my kids. And I see it in them. They're doing their things.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
getting done what needs to get done.
That's
And
good.
then I asked about wanted to do this. So well, more like one of my other twin boy, he likes photography. He works
Okay.
in a cabinet shop right now, right? So he's doing all that stuff, CNC machines and everything. But he's loving the picture. Takes all the pictures of church now. He does all that in video, and he's
Wow.
now he got a gig at a wedding, and
Yeah.
then he got a proposal gig. So he went down to Chicago and shot this guy proposing to his girl. They set all that
Wow.
up into this whole
Oh,
thing.
that's
So he did
great.
all that. So like,
Yeah.
and he's like getting paid, and now
That's
people are
work.
noticing that it's work,
That's
right?
right.
He's giving at the church.
Hmm.
I said, dude, do you understand the position you're in? They see you every Sunday
Every
roaming
Sunday.
around, taking pictures, getting video. You're up on stage, you're down here, and now they're coming to you for wedding pictures and this picture and doing this. Dude,
Right.
that's what giving's about.
Right. That's what giving
See
is
how,
about.
see how God's rewarding you?
That's right.
You gave your time, you do it every week and stuff, and now
Yeah.
you're getting gigs.
That's right. That's right. You're getting
Yeah,
paid for
yeah, that's
something that
right.
you love.
That's right. Right. So
Right.
it's really cool to see. Because he'd
Hmm.
asked me, should I do it? I go, of course you should do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, just take it slow.
That's right. Yeah.
Work it.
Go
Be
for it.
wise. Be wise.
That's right.
I'll consult you. I'll take you through. I'll advise you to it, and it can be good.
Hmm. Yeah.
But it's them having the what I think like what you're doing with these boys. They need to understand that they can. They are limitless.
Right.
You can't put these low ceilings on guys,
I agree.
especially men.
I
You
agree.
know,
I agree.
Once they understand, like, well, you can do, and again, hey, we're in America.
Hmm.
You can do anything, anywhere. You want to be a
Anything.
scuba instructor? You can go to the coast. You
Exactly.
can go you can do. I don't care whatever you want to do. You can do here.
You can do it. That's
You got
right.
a pair of shoes and you can start walking.
That's right.
You can get there. Like,
Or
you can
running if you want to.
yeah, you can do this stuff. So, but I think so many guys when we talk about from the no father in the home, they don't have that mindset.
Right.
And I think they're in the anger, they're kind of listless, that kind of thing. They're kind of just they're just kind of stuck there,
That's
you
stuff.
know.
That's right. I agree 100%. Yeah.
So are you finding that they're drawn because you have created a sense of community? Is there that because you've got all these boys at different ages, but they're all, and I'm going to use probably the wrong word, but like suffering from the same ailment, which is fatherlessness.
Right. Right.
Do you
Most
see kind of a community kind of building? You see bonds building with those people,
Right.
those guys?
Most definitely, our church is a family oriented church.
Mhm.
And so because I'd say we got about 10 mothers in the church who are mothers to kids who aren't even their kids.
Nice.
We got about 15 or 20 fathers who are fathers to sons who and they're not their sons.
Love it.
And so I did pair up a lot of our kids with mentors, and gave them their phone numbers and asked them to kind of text, call, meet with them. So there'd be an accountability and a mentorship type situation. I think that helps knowing that there's somebody who believes in me and can see my potential more than I can see it.
Yeah. I love
Because
it.
there is an inferiority complex that I've noticed that comes out of, when you don't have that father figure to give you your self-esteem and your confidence. Confidence comes from the father just as well as identity and direction. I love mothers who can do it by themselves. That's great. But your child is at a disadvantage if they don't have the father who brings something else to the table: confidence, self esteem, a sense of fearlessness.
Mhm.
There's a lot of fear in these children. I don't know if it's going to work. Or I'm a little afraid it might fail, fear of failure, or insecure. I'm a little, or intimidation. But I've noticed that from my own testimony. My parents used to tell me I can do anything I want to do in this world, you know, and to this day, I still believe it. And I believe it's because they told me that and they nurtured it long enough that now there's no other theme of my life other than I'm gonna give it a shot.
That's right.
I'm gonna give it a shot. Even if it don't work, I'm still gonna try it because I don't know what my potential is. Yeah,
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm with you because even me at my age, I'm doing the biggest thing of my life now,
yeah.
business wise, everything
Oh,
else. I'm
that's
taking on doing it's an unbelievable thing
yeah.
that most guys are like, why aren't you retiring? My brother's retired. This, I'm like,
No,
retiring.
retire. That's for
You,
old people.
though, I love the saying, whoever, I think I heard Trump or something say it first, but it's retire. Yeah, I'm going to put 4 new tires on,
That's
retire,
right.
get going
I
back down the
love
road.
it.
I go, that's retire for me.
I
And
love
I've
it,
said it
man.
since I think I was 12, like the whole thing about retirement, and I've
Yeah,
stuck to it. I'm like, I'm never stopping. That sounds
exactly.
like death to me. That
Me
sounds like
either.
death.
I'm never retired. Like when I take my last breath, then I will retire
It's it in the
because my
kingdom.
work is done.
That's it.
I
It's
believe
going to
that's
be
where we
good.
should live.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much to do and so little time,
That's right. That's exactly right.
So, oh, this is so great. Okay, so we're on 6.
Six. Yeah.
Here we go.
Number six is mature emotionally. I notice a lot of our young men don't have the emotional capacity to weather the storms of life,
Here we go.
relationships, job terminations, just getting a no. My dad used to tell me no all the time. So when I left home to hear a no, that was just a formality. I've heard
Right.
no all the time. That's not going to scare me at all. Life is not going to come to an end when I get told no. But I talk about 2 stories in the book from 2 young men who their girlfriends broke up with them, and they actually, you know, murdered their girlfriends because of a breakup. And I'm like, there are 4 billion women in the world. One breakup shouldn't be the end all be all. You shouldn't have a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so emotionally, a lot of our young men are emotionally handicapped and disabled because nobody has really, I would say, imparted this wisdom, this sense of this maturity complex that's needed to be a man. And I tell you, as a man, and you know this, going through what you've gone through, you're gonna have to have a range of emotions. You know, being in relationships, being a father, being a business owner, finances, just being in America as a black man. You know, there's some things that we may have to deal with, other people may not. It's significantly better than it was when my dad was here.
Mhm.
But emotionally, you have to have a sense of strength and emotional fortitude to be able to go out there and accomplish what you want to accomplish. So this is what we talk about in number
Yeah.
6.
So this is really important, especially today.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't think in my life, 60 years,
Mm-hmm.
have I heard the word mental health more than I have in the last 2 years.
Really?
It's
Wow.
like it's all I hear all the time. And
Mental health.
here's my my own data, my
Okay.
own thought, right? So I don't
Yeah,
have
your
peer reviewed
anecdotal
studies on this.
experience.
Yes, I don't have peer reviewed studies on this.
Mm-hmm.
got, I've got this. I go, it's like so many other things. What becomes popular, what becomes what becomes accepted manifests itself, and it keeps evolving. Everyone, it's peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
It's peer influence.
Yeah.
Oh, I got issues. They're not mentally strong, but
Right.
then someone, an athlete or someone else, gives them the out because they use that card.
Uh-huh.
They pull that card not to finish, do
Right.
this, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Like, no, I mean, everyone's got a different mindset, but like my thing is this: if I can take a breath, I'm in the fight.
I'm in the fight. I
That's it.
like that.
Dude,
I'm in the
that's
fight.
just how it is.
That's right.
I watch my oldest, same thing, no quit.
Yeah.
Just it's not who he is.
That's right.
And he
That's
said
right.
that it's not who I am.
That's not who I am.
They understand who they are, right?
That's
And I'm
right.
not saying there isn't, everyone goes to the one little case or whatever. I'm not saying it's not real. What I'm
Right.
saying, these people are grabbing onto this to play the victim, to
Play it
use
right.
it as an excuse. They don't want to
That's right.
build that mental fortitude.
You're right.
Because, dude, life is stinking hard.
Life is hard.
Okay, you get punched in the face a lot. Okay, I've been literally punched in the face. I got plates and
That's
wires,
right.
and I was a boxer. You know what I mean? So I know what it's like to get in the ring. Okay,
Right.
it's all that. I mean, the Marine Corps, I was a boxer, I'm a black belt, I'm all this stuff.
Uh-huh.
But like, life is way worse than all that.
Life is way worse. Hey, punch
That's like
back.
I chose to do that. You know,
Right.
but I don't think people, like you're saying, are grabbing onto this, going, wait a minute, I'm in control. They're
I'm
letting
in
all these
control.
external forces and
Yep.
people's opinions
That's
and
right.
diagnoses.
Yes.
Okay, like this is, it's an advantage of being around for a while.
Mhm.
We have a different level of wisdom and discernment.
Right.
We go, look, dude, that's trash.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
believe that.
Right.
Okay, that's a lie from the devil.
That's
Okay,
right.
I'm
That's
telling
right.
you, like, dude, you got to understand, like, no, this is you,
Right.
and I'll put you through, like, you want to see what you're capable of? Come train with me.
Yeah.
I take most kids I used to work, we had a cross country teams, and I've done fitness forever, but like they remember me because I'm the guy who pulled everything out of them.
Wow.
Okay, I mean, like
Yeah.
and there's respect for that.
Right. They remember you. Yeah.
They remember you. They might have been not been the most talented or anything, but I got them to give everything they had. They know
Yeah.
what that means to be. They know the discomfort of that,
That's good.
and I wanted
That's
them to
good.
teach it because it's not just when you're working out.
That's right.
This is what life is.
It's what life is.
You're gonna have a lot of discomfortable things,
Mhm.
okay, uncomfortable stuff.
Right.
And when you look at real studies, not mine, okay, those who live in long periods of comfort die
Mhm.
early.
They die early. That's
They
exactly
do.
right.
They have a
That's right.
shortened lifespan.
Because
Like
they aren't
comfort's a
challenged.
killer. Comfort's a
That's right.
killer.
Comfort will kill you.
That's right. I'm telling you, you've got to put yourself out there. You
Yeah.
got to do hard things, right? And that's what I'm
Yeah.
sure you're teaching these boys. If they can grab onto that,
Yes,
and I
sir.
love that, again, this is in the right order.
Yeah.
Is number
Yeah.
6. This is now you've got a foundation to
Yeah.
go out and test yourself.
Yes, sir.
That's what they need to do. What does
Yes,
the
sir.
test look like?
Uh-huh.
I
That's right.
love it. I love
That's
it. That's
good. Yeah.
awesome. That's good
Yeah.
stuff. Okay. 7.
Number 7, serve someone.
Yeah.
When you are a young man, you live your life Most young men live their lives for themselves. I've been that person. It was just all school, academics, me, I. And when I kind of met God and really developed a real relationship with God, I found out life is not about me. Especially when I had kids, I found out life is not about me. And so when you start to serve, you actually start to come to the place that you really should be, the place where God intends for you to be the most effective. You can help the most people. And and here's the side benefit, the greatest benefit. You help yourself when you start to serve others. This is why God says in Matthew 23 and 11, the greatest of all these shall be my servant.
Yep.
So servants are the great people in God's eyes. Dr. Martin Luther King says anybody can be great because anybody can serve. So we all can be great through
Yeah.
the process of serving and helping others.
Yeah.
So all of our young boys, I'm trying to get them to that place that they realize, I can't just live for myself.
Yeah.
That's a selfish, prideful, miserable life if you live for yourself.
Yeah. I think too, James, when you serve, there's other servings like anything else. There's benefits to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're
Exactly.
helping others, right? You feel
Right,
good and
right.
everything else, but what you'll find, and I always hesitate to say this because I don't want it to be twisted, or I
Mm-hmm.
don't want the person serving to get twisted,
Yeah.
but it opens doors.
Ace, that's right.
It opens doors because you're serving, giving, and you're being again exposed to different
Uh-huh.
people. There's different people on that volunteer squad.
Yeah.
I had a guy in the gym there. He came up, and I've known him for I don't know, a couple of years now, and he started talking. I'm down in the lobby, and he's like, so he's like, well, I'm moving to Florida, for my job and everything. And I just go, John, well, what do you do? He goes, well, I'm an oncologist. I'm a cancer. I go, oh, this guy's got the beard. He works out hard. Like you never. He goes, yeah, funny, right? I go,
Yeah.
yeah, I would not have thought that about you. Okay, so
That's
he's
funny.
going down for the back. So, but we were talking about the same thing. Like you don't know who you're running into, and
Exactly.
like we're just
That's right.
guys who are working out,
That's
but
right.
we have the relationship. But volunteering is the same principle. You go
Mm-hmm.
give, you help. Now, bottom line, you're there to serve
You there to
with
serve.
no expectation except to serve and help
Exactly.
others. But you will find the more you do that, that people see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that it's a character trait.
Right. That's right.
Okay, when people want to develop character, well, go help someone.
Go help somebody.
That's the easy way to start building.
That's right. If you want to be happy, start helping people.
Oh, you're unemployed right now? Go volunteer.
That's right. Volunteer.
Just go so you're not idle.
That's right. So you're not idle.
Yeah, we have a men's shelter, really cool men's shelter here called Gifts. And same thing, we go there, I'll work the desk at night, we'll bring food, we'll serve the guys, we'll do all that stuff, but
Yeah.
you just go. You just go and do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
get
That's
back,
right.
talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Here's guys who are, on the road to recovery and everything else,
Yes,
and
sir.
it's you got to go see that too. You need to be part of that so you understand. There's a great thing a really good friend of mine taught me. He goes, listen, we are no more in potentiality than the worst criminal, murderer, whatever they are in actuality.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand that about yourself.
Right. That's
Okay.
right.
And when you have that, you see people different.
That's right. You see people differently.
Because
That's right.
but for the grace of God, there go I, right? That
That's right.
that I could be that. So you understand that when you
Amen.
start volunteering, you start seeing that, and your compassion changes,
That's
your empathy changes,
right. Yeah.
and that
You,
matters.
it matters. Oh
It
yeah.
does. Yes. I was very low on the empathy scale, James. Like I was
Really?
in like a -2. Like somewhere I was there. That was me for a very long time. I'm not like that
Yeah.
anymore. I think I'm up to like a 1 or 2 now.
Right.
But I'm a work in progress.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't something I just felt I wasn't born with it. It
Right.
just wasn't in my DNA
Hey, we
for
we
whatever
all are.
reason. Yeah. Yeah.
And life, honestly, it's a learning curve. I'm trying to see my own blind spots, but I'm trying to show other young boys and men, you got to be able to try to see your blind spots and have somebody to help you, like a pastor, a mentor, a leader, to just help you see what you can't see,
That's
you
it.
know, and that is what is going to help all of us become better. Just
Yeah.
being able to see what we can't see.
This is really important. I think what you're doing with them too, and I would, if, and I'm sure you are, but it's like, you have to ask others. They're going to see. It's like me when I business coach, right? I go into a company, I walk a floor, and like I see all the problems
Hmm.
that the people who own the company don't see.
Right.
Why is that? How can I just come in and go, well, this is a mess. I can
Right.
fix this. And I go, oh, I never knew that.
Uh-huh.
You're here every day. But see, they're too
Yeah.
close to it. We're
Too
too close to
close.
ourselves. So
That's right.
you need the courage to ask, like, what do you see as my weak spot?
Uh-huh.
What do you think from a character or a behavioral aspect that
Yeah.
I need to work on? Because one thing to teach young men is to be coachable and trainable,
Yes, sir.
right? They need to understand, like, and they all watch sports pretty much, right?
Right.
And you need to turn that on and go, let's pick out all the coaches on the
Yeah.
sideline.
That's right.
There's not just
Everybody
one.
got a coach.
Okay,
Yeah.
all coach, all, and then there's a bunch in the back waiting for the
Uh,
injures. Okay,
that's
they're
right.
coaches too. So I said, it's just, you got to understand, it's never ends.
It
The
never
coaching
ends.
never ends. Like
I like that.
but you want to be able to take in that outside. There's a wisdom in a multitude, counselors, right?
Yes, sir.
Same
That's right.
principle.
That's the
Go to
Bible.
the group. My clients, they have that. They run it by me. They run it by him. They run it by her.
Yeah.
Then they make their final decision.
Right.
And
Right.
they're not surrounded by yes people.
Right. That's good.
They have people who will tell them the truth, and
Mhm.
that's what you need to understand.
Exactly.
If everybody's agreeing with you, you're in the wrong circle.
In the wrong circle. Yeah.
You got to go, because there's
Yes,
going to be
sir.
something. So I love that you're doing that, because that's serving and being served, if you will, meaning that you just got to be coached,
Yes,
like
sir.
asking whether it's you or anyone else in in the ministry there to really kind of maybe have that moment.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
It's one thing.
One
So I
thing.
tell people, don't dump a wheelbarrow of stuff on them.
Right.
Okay, don't crush them. Okay, give them
That's
one thing
right.
to work on, let them overcome it, then you go to the next thing.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
have a nice little
That's
process.
right.
But as those, because that's a confidence builder when they see a change in them. I mean, people see me today, James, and then maybe they knew me 20, 25 years ago, longer.
Uh,
Like, who are you?
right.
A
Right.
wife, a wife, six kids. Businesses, all this stuff. You're still working out. You're just like, who,
Yeah.
who are you? You know what I mean? They don't know. I am not who I was. That
Right.
the old is dead.
The
The new is
oldest
here.
dead.
Right.
That's right. You're a
It's
new creature.
That's it. That's it. It's a
That's right.
beautiful thing. It's a really beautiful
Yes,
thing.
sir.
So I love, I love this. I just
Yes, sir.
love what you're doing. So
Thank you.
we'll kind of wrap this up with, you got a book, okay? You've
Yes,
got
sir.
the seven, you call them steps? What do you call
Seven
them?
baby steps
Yeah, seven
to
baby steps.
manhood. Yeah.
Right, right.
Uh-huh.
So and I think, what's the ultimate goal for this for you? Are you looking to get this in other places? You want people to kind of follow the model? You want to start more of a, expand this ministry out across the country? What are you thinking?
Yeah. I really want to expand the model. I want to expand the ministry. And my goal is to just help young boys become men.
Right,
It's not about me at all. I know
right.
I may be at the forefront of this thing, but my goal is to help. If I only help one young male
Yeah,
become a man, I've succeeded. So that's my goal. I want to help pastors, coaches, and teachers see what they can't see and have an objective tool or resource to try to give to these young boys that they're mentoring. Because I've noticed that most of our, I would say, leaders, mentors, administrators, coaches don't have a good concrete model to
right,
give. And
right.
so I want to get this in the hands of all the people who are dealing with these fatherless kids in the sports arena, in the school arena, in the church arena, so that we can try to give them what they need to become men. When the men are strong, the community is strong. When the
Yeah,
community is strong, the nation will be strong. So we
that's
got
it.
to get men in their rightful place, and that's my goal. Is try our best to help young boys become men.
Yeah, it's getting to them early,
Getting to them early.
because
That's
sadly, a lot of these boys, they're starting with no father in the
right.
home.
Right. This is our problem.
I mean, you're one and two, and father's gone, and you got. I mean, it's so if you don't get to them until they're 14,
Yeah.
You have 14 years of fatherlessness. Think about
That's
that.
right. That's a long time.
That's a long time at that age,
That's right. That's right.
developmental age,
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
they're ready to absorb. And
Right.
if it's they'll absorb anything,
Mm-hmm.
good or
They're
bad.
gonna absorb something.
That's right. That's right. And if you can get in to make that difference and give them that quality stuff,
Yes, sir.
and no one's perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but man, just that influence is so critically
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I think you're on the exact right path. This is how you heal a nation.
Amen. That's right.
You got to get that family back together. But
Yeah.
first, you got to start with these men.
Start with the men. The buck stops
You
with
know,
us. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Because
People like you, people like me, we can help the next generation
that's it.
because we understand what it takes because we've been on the front lines,
Yep.
and either we became a casualty of war or we came back with a few scars and few war wounds, but we made it.
Well, I think it's one of those things that, regardless of race or any of that stuff, but from an age demographic, a generational, you've seen, well, take some generations do it better than others, but they're not reaching back down and pulling the next generation up.
Right.
They're leaving them to their druthers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my money. I worked all my life for I'm spending my kids' inheritance. We've all seen the bumper sticker, right? Like,
Yeah.
I, I hope you mean that tongue in cheek, but you probably don't.
Right.
You
That's
probably
right.
actually don't care about your kids. You're going
Uh-huh.
to spend all the dough.
Yes, sir.
You're not going to give them a leg up, to be
Hmm.
better because you got yours
Right.
and you're all good. Like that's a really bad attitude.
That's a
Like,
bad
it's
attitude.
messed
I
up.
agree.
I
Yes,
I
sir.
saw another. I'll spend a second on bumper stickers. I saw one the other day. I'm pulling into the gym. There was a guy in front of me, who wasn't going to the gym, but he's like, how the baby on board stickers.
Hmm.
It literally had financial burden on board, and it had like the baby. It had like the baby, and I'm like, okay, dude, I want to come out and slap you.
That's
Okay, like
right.
if
You
you
should
just,
have slapped it.
I want to just. You're lucky you're not going to the gym. Okay,
Yeah.
because you'd watch me hit the bag, and then we'd have a
Oh
conversation.
man.
Okay, but I'm like this,
That's
just
bad.
that though, right, James? I'm thinking like you. Oh, I don't have words. We'll spend
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
hour talking about that clown.
That's
Okay,
right.
but
Uh,
it's just, it's that. But I really, I love what you're doing. I
yes,
think it's
sir.
really important. I want to see more of this. There's some really great men's ministries out there
Yes,
that
sir.
are really
Right.
growing, but you need structure in this. And
Right.
what you've created, 7 baby steps, that
Hmm.
structure, right?
That's
Because
true.
if people don't have that, they're kind of doing opinion
Right. Opinion.
or just experience.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's
Anecdotal.
helpful. Yeah. And
Hmm.
it, you, and you have them in order for a reason,
Yes, sir.
right? So they need to understand you don't start with, well, I guess I could do volunteering, but the financial stuff and everything else when they don't even know who they are.
Right. Right.
They got to understand who they are.
That's right. Yes,
You
sir.
know what I mean? Then you can build on that. But you really got some great foundational steps in this.
Yeah.
I love
Thank
them.
you. I
They're really
appreciate you
good.
saying that.
So you got the book, so they can
Yes,
get a hold of
sir.
your book. Where can they get that? Look at that.
You
Grown
can
Boys
get
is a
it.
good one.
Yes,
That's a
you can
good
get
one.
it on Amazon. Right now, you can pre-order the Kindle version on Amazon now, and you also can get it on Goodreads.com. But it'll be sold anywhere books are sold. And right now, we're actually um, this is my first copy. I had an unboxing yesterday.
The very first. Okay.
This
All
is the
right.
first copy, and I got to go through it
And
and
that's
make
going to
sure.
go in an envelope addressed to me. Okay. That's going to come to me.
Yes, sir. So I'm reading through it right now to make sure everything is good with the format and all that. And tax day is when it's coming out, April 15th. You can get your copy on tax day, April 15th
I
this
love
year.
it. I love it.
So
Yeah.
less
Something to
than
look
a
forward
month.
to instead of being bummed out on the
That's right.
15th, right? Yeah.
I
That's
got to get
awesome.
you a signed copy too, Richard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I love Grown Boys. There's a big thing we talk about, right? Extended adolescence.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
right in line with this, right? It's
Right,
these,
right.
and oh, yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see
Oh,
these
yeah.
guys out there, man. It's
Yeah.
just
30
hard.
years old,
Yeah, like,
still walk
what are you
around
doing?
like they 15.
Or talking for 30 minutes about the video game they played last night
Right.
with each other. I'm just looking at them like,
Yeah.
what do I do
Right.
here?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do I do? Take them by the neck? What do I what
That's
am I
right.
gonna do? Like,
That's right.
what are you talking about?
That's right. What are you talking
Like,
about? Is
I
there
mean,
anything more important to your life than video game?
yeah, there kind of isn't. And you have children, and you have
Right.
children.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
boy,
kind of pitiful. Yeah.
yeah. It's again these, but these are indicators. This
Hmm.
is like people have heard this. They listen to our show today.
Right.
Go. You're not going to unsee it anymore. You're
That's
going to
right.
go out and you're going to start seeing exactly what we're talking about, and you're going, "Oh my gosh!"
Hmm.
Because until you
That's right.
know, it's the RAS, right? Articulating activator
That's right.
system, right?
Uh-huh.
Now you know
Now you
when
know.
when you want a yellow Toyota, whatever, all of a
Uh-huh.
sudden you see them everywhere.
You
Never
see
saw
them
them
everywhere.
before,
That's
right?
right.
That's the
Hmm.
RAS, right? So this is the same principle. Start looking
Hmm.
at these young men and
That's
tell me
right.
what you see.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's I have
Yeah.
two daughters and four boys.
Okay.
So my one daughter will often bring a boy to introduce to me. Okay. Now I learned that she's got a technique. She
Uh-huh.
definitely introduces them when she doesn't want to deal with them. She wants them to go away. Okay. She's very attractive and
Yeah.
little and all the stuff, So she brings it to me
Right.
and just we'll close with this. But I'm like,
Break out the
oh,
shotgun.
I just a good squeeze on the hand. I'll talk to him. I go, okay, so tell me, okay. I said, well, you do understand, and I point to him and her. I go, this isn't happening. And he goes, and he still looks at me. I go, do you understand? He goes, well, I go, no, she's not ready to date,
Yeah.
so you're not going to date her. She's a
Uh-huh.
mess. What I've heard so far, you're a mess.
Right.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. What you need to do is become a godly man that a godly woman would want to actually be with. Because
That's
I've seen
right.
you here. I've seen you
That's
here, my
good.
friend.
Uh-huh.
I've seen you operate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I said, until then, like you don't even speak to my daughter.
Right. I
All
love
right.
it.
You're not doing abs with her. You're not helping, you're not spotting her on it. You're not doing any of that.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
She's good. When she
That's
needs
right.
help training, she's got me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here. So that ends that.
I love
So
it.
it's, and we've got that, and and she's good, right? Like, and some of that is legit. Some is
Right.
like, we date intentionally.
That's right. We date intentionally.
Okay, so like this is not you just see a pretty girl in the gym, and uh,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
it's
We
it's almost up to with picking up girls in the club.
right.
Okay, it's probably not where you want to do it.
Yeah, we tell our sons date to get married. Date
That's it.
intentionally. If you find out this is not a woman that you think you could potentially marry, you move on and let her move on so you don't waste time.
That's it. Find out early.
Find
Find out
right.
early. Yep. Just let them know. Lay it down.
Hmm.
This is what it is. Oh, good. You're not okay. Well, great. See you.
That's right.
And there are no girlfriends.
Right. I like that.
There's no girl that's a friend.
Uh-huh. I
Okay. If
like
you're
it.
a guy,
Right. I
and
agree.
we know, right? Because we're guys.
We know.
We know there's no
That's right.
such thing. Okay.
Exactly.
No such,
I
we'll
agree.
leave
I
it there.
agree
We
with
just, we just
you. Yeah.
laid that down. So that's it. Well, James, this has been absolutely fantastic. I
Yes,
knew it'd be
sir.
a great conversation. I'm so glad you could jump on and join us. I know I kind of made you move up on the list here.
Yeah.
I gave you VIP status. You got the book and everything else, but this is awesome. Congrats on the book. I know it's a
Thank
lot
you
of work.
so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, they're work. I'm about to publish my third one, and
Yes, sir.
they're
Okay,
all
good.
they're all work, man. They're all work, but
Yeah,
it's
it's a lot of work.
they're worth doing though, especially
They
what you're
are. I
doing. It's
hope I
just
hope we get some good help
is
some
this
young men.
is
Yeah.
this your
This
first
is my
book?
second book.
Nice.
The first book is called The Unholy Appetite. It's kind of about the spiritual side of eating addictions.
Oh,
It's more of a conversation I'm having with my patients, and I kind of
oh,
self-published it and provided for my patients mostly. It's not on Amazon or anything like that. But I told
I
my
would
wife
be
this is
interested in that.
yeah, I'll have to
I
send you a
would.
copy of that one too.
Yeah, I'll send you
I,
my three. You send me
okay.
your two, I'll send you my three.
I told my
Uh,
wife, this is it. I don't want to write no more books. And she said, oh, you will. You're going to have another book. And I have an idea for another book in my mind already, but I was like, I don't want to write another book. It's too much
yeah,
work.
get this one out there first.
Yeah.
Get it out there. Get that launch date. Wait till after tax day and
Mhm.
all that stuff, and then
Yeah.
take a breath, and then you'll be fresh.
I
But
hope
don't
so.
stop writing. Writing is
Yeah. Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get the word out there because you
Right.
can say more in a book than you can say in a podcast.
That's true. Yeah.
Again, structured and everything else. It's a good thing, and then you
Yes, sir.
go nine directions from there. but
Right,
you got a
right.
base. So that's cool.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good for you. Well, again,
Thank you.
thank you, James. What a
Thank
great
you.
conversation. I appreciate you. Love what you're doing.
Yes,
And
sir.
for everybody else, we'll see you on the next STS podcast. Thanks for joining me on the Sharpen the Spear podcast. If you're a manufacturing executive and you're serious about unlocking hidden profit, improving frontline leadership, and taking control of your floor, go to grit2lead.com right now. Run the free Sharpened Impact Simulator and discover your biggest opportunities are hiding. Don't leave millions on the table. Sharpen your spear, lead from the front, and win the floor. Until next time, stay sharp.